Ronnie O'Sullivan, the Rocket, the man who redefined what it means to play snooker. Over the years, he's had his ups and downs, but one thing's for sure, Ronnie knows how to make a statement. Let's get into 10 times he didn't just play snooker, he shut his critics up in the most epic ways possible. Number 1. Fastest 147 break, 1997 World Championship. Let's start with what's probably the most famous moment in snooker history, the 147 in 5 minutes and 8 seconds. It happened at the 1997 World Championship against Mick Price. From the first break, Ronnie was like a man possessed. Every shot was spot on, every moment so smooth it was like watching art in motion. The crowd at the Crucible couldn't believe their eyes, and even the commentators were scrambling to keep up. When that final black dropped, the whole place erupted. Ronnie didn't just make a maximum break, he did it with such speed and precision that it looked effortless. Critics who said he played too fast or took too many risks were left speechless.
What a break! What a fantastic maximum break that is! Ronnie O'Sullivan's delighted, the crowd's delighted, John Virgo and I'm delighted. 5 minutes for one.
Number 2. First World Championship title, 2001. For years, people said Ronnie didn't have the mental game to win the big one. Sure, he had the skills, but could he handle the pressure at the Crucible? In 2001, he answered that with a resounding yes. Ronnie faced John Higgins in the final, a tough opponent and a former world champ himself. But Ronnie wasn't just there to compete, he was there to dominate. From the get-go, he was in control, making frame after frame look easy. By the time he won 18-14, the critics were silenced. Ronnie didn't just win, he proved he had the focus, the nerves, and the drive to be a world champion. This wasn't just a title, it was Ronnie showing he could conquer the biggest stage of all.
John Higgins was in first in this fray with 45, but Ronnie O'Sullivan clears up with 80. Ronnie O'Sullivan
Number 3. Returning from depression, 2008 World Championship. Ronnie's had his battles off the table too, and by 2008 a lot of folks were saying he was done. He'd spoken openly about his struggles with depression, and many thought he'd lost his fire. But at the 2008 World Championship, Ronnie showed up like the Rocket of old. In the final, he was up against Ali Carter, a strong player having the tournament of his life. But Ronnie played as if he had a point to prove, not just to the snooker world, but to himself. He was relaxed, focused, and at times even playful, like when he made a cheeky 147 in the semi-final. He beat Carter 18-8, one of the most one-sided finals in years. For Ronnie, this was more than just a win. It was a personal victory over everything he'd been battling. And for his critics, it was a loud and clear message. Never count Ronnie O'Sullivan out.
The Rocket lands title number 3, and it's a family. He's going to lose a few pounds at that disciplinary hearing, I suspect. But
Number 4. 7th Masters title, 2017. Ronnie O'Sullivan had already made the Masters his playground, but in 2017, he took it to another level. Facing Joe Perry in the final at Alexandra Palace, Ronnie was in his element. He dominated the match, winning 10-7, and this victory gave him his 7th Masters title, more than anyone in history. It wasn't just about the win, it was the way he played. He looked relaxed, confident, and as always, he made it look easy. The critics who said he was slowing down, they were nowhere to be found.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, your champion, Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Before we move on, please be sure to subscribe to our channel. Number 5. Historic comeback versus Mark Selby, 2020 World Championship. In 2020, Ronnie found himself in a nail-biter against Mark Selby in the World Championship semi-finals. Selby, known for his tactical and grind-you-down style, had a 16-14 lead, and it looked like Ronnie was on the ropes. But then, Ronnie did what Ronnie does best. He turned it up a notch. He rattled off 3 straight frames, playing fast and loose, and clinched the match 17-16. It was a classic O'Sullivan comeback, full of flair and guts. For all the talk about Selby's mental game, it was Ronnie who showed the true grit when it mattered most.
And he had a 70-odd break at the Crucible Theatre. 2 great champions. An unbelievable comeback from the Rocket Ronnie O'Sullivan, beating the 3-times former champion 17 frames to 16. Unbelievable.
Number 6. Record 1000th century break. 2019 Players' Championship. Hitting 1000 career century breaks is something no one even thought possible, until Ronnie did it. It happened at the 2019 Players' Championship against Neil Robertson. The crowd knew he was on the brink, and you could feel the excitement in the air. When he finally hit the 1000th, the audience went wild, and Ronnie, always the showman, gave a cheeky wave with his cue. This wasn't just a milestone, it was Ronnie telling everyone, "I'm not just good at this, I'm rewriting the history books."
He did say the other night in the studio he was going to wait
92.
until another tournament to do it.
It's the storybook ending. He wins the title with his 1000th.
Incredible achievement. Really is phenomenal.
At the £5,000 highest break prize. What an atmosphere, what an achievement. Oh, but no high break prize. The break ends on 134, but it was his 1000th century. What an ending, what a conclusion.
Number 7. First ranking title after break. 2012 German Masters. Ronnie's relationship with snooker has been a bit of a love-hate thing, and by 2012 he'd taken some time away from the game. People wondered if he'd lost his edge, but at the German Masters he showed them he was still the Rocket. Facing Stephen Maguire in the final, Ronnie was clinical, winning 9-7 and picking up his first ranking title in almost 2 years. It was a clear message. Even after time away, when Ronnie decides to play, he's still one of the best out there.
This man is a snooker legend, and he has won his 23rd world ranking title after a real battle in Berlin.
Number 8. 6th World Championship title, 2020. After a 7-year gap, Ronnie returned to the Crucible in 2020 to claim his 6th World Championship title, matching legends like Steve Davis and Ray Reardon. In the final against Kyron Wilson, Ronnie was untouchable, cruising to an 18-8 victory. This win wasn't just about adding another trophy to the cabinet, it was about silencing those who said his best days were behind him. Ronnie showed that he still had the hunger and the talent to dominate the sport's biggest stage.
Little kiss. Little kiss.
96 to finish. The unique, the unconventional, the irrepressible, the brilliant Ronnie O'Sullivan stands once again
World Snooker Champion.
As we can say, we were there to see him do it. As Joe said, treasure him while you can, and I'm sure he will be back next year to try and level up Stephen Hendry's magnificent 7.
Number 9. Becoming the oldest world champion, 2022. In 2022, Ronnie did something truly remarkable. He became the oldest world champion in the modern era at 46. The final against Judd Trump wasn't just a test of skill, but also a battle of generations. Ronnie won 18-13, showing that experience and class could still trump youth and flair. It was a moment of pure vindication for a player who's often been written off because of his age. Ronnie proved that the fire still burns bright, and he's far from finished.
He's got a B game, and once his potting comes back, it'll be a danger for everyone. But in this tournament, in this final, Ronnie O'Sullivan has proved, without doubt, that he's
Number 10. Breaking Stephen Hendry's ranking titles record. 2020 Scottish Open. Before the 2014 UK Championship, Ronnie was dealing with a broken ankle, and many doubted if he could perform at his best. Despite limping around the table, Ronnie played through the pain, taking down Judd Trump in a thrilling 10-9 final. It was classic Ronnie, showing everyone that not even an injury could slow down the Rocket.
And Ronnie will be mighty relieved. And handshakes there. Thank you guys. What a great final. And having a chat and a laugh.
That's it for this video. Which one was your favourite? Let us know in the comments. For more snooker content, click on the screen right now.